this is Soyoung Kim, and I found more interesting topic for my behavior economics paper recently, so I decided to change my topic, and now I'm taking another video for my midterm presentation. Let me start by asking you one interesting question. If you by any chance fall down, get hurt, and need help, where do you think is a good place to do it? Should you choose a busy road with a huge crowd of people, or a secluded back street with only a few people present? You might instinctively choose busy roads, as the more witnesses to an accident would mean the more likely any one of them is to approach you and try to help you. But surprisingly, research in social psychology suggests that when people are in a group, they are actually less likely to step up and help someone who is in need. One possible explanation for this phenomenon could be because of the diffusion of responsibility. To be specific, when there is the presence of others in the group, each individual is likely to defer the responsibility to someone else in the group, assuming there are certainly other people around there to intervene and deal with the problem. Consequently, individuals have less personal responsibility or pressure for helping a victim, and therefore he or she ends up not taking an action in a situation where help is really needed. This is how the bystander effect was born. One of the most famous examples used to explain the bystander effect is the sad story of Kenny Genovese, a 28-year-old New York resident who was stabbed, raped, and robbed while 38 people were around her. And what's even worse was that this terrible attack lasted more than half an hour. Later, when some of the 38 witnesses were interviewed, many said they did not take action because there were so many other people present around her. It's understandable for bystanders to be afraid of stepping in and fighting the man with a knife, but someone could definitely call the police and report it, which could have possibly saved her life. Lots of studies have confirmed that the bystander effect is amplified by the amount of people in the group. This means that there is an inverse relationship between the two. The more people in the group, the less inclined an individual is to take action. However, bystander effect is not always as straightforward as it seems. Let me show you one short video clip.
Across the country, a woman slips and falls onto the train tracks in a Philadelphia subway. A few Good Samaritans sprang into action and rushed to the woman's aid, helping her off the tracks and back to safety. This was not the case one state over in New York. An elderly man was bumped off balance and fell off the platform. The man struggled to get back to safety while bystanders not only watched, but they pulled out their devices and recorded as the train approached. No Good Samaritan was present on that day, and the man lost his life.
As you can see in the video, the more direct of a commitment of people, the more likely people were to intervene and offer help to a person who is in need. This means that there are also other factors that matter. For example, people who are in a hurry are typically less likely to stop and help someone who is in need. And people who are highly skilled in a certain emergency, like doctors and nurses trained to handle medical situations well, are also more likely to try to help whether bystanders are there or not. In this study, I'm going to conduct an experiment by using dictator game theory learned during the class. I would like to illustrate this experiment designs by testing through various scenarios. How likely people to offer assistance to someone struggling right in front of them. To determine whether there is a meaningful relationship between the bystander effect and helping behaviors in groups, I will first consider the emergency and non-emergency cases with one dictator, a bystander in this case, making allocations to a single recipient, who could also be interpreted as a person who is in need. Then I will consider another case with multiple dictators and one recipient. Different time and places will be specified in the experiment to examine different behavior of participants. Moreover, information such as age, gender, religion, occupations will be collected to see causal relationship between different variables. We would all like to consider ourselves helpful people, but are we always quick to lend a hand whenever the opportunity arises? Hopefully, this study will enable us to find an answer to this question and better understand helping behavior in human nature. Thank you for your attention.